No video. Okay, so dear devotees, here we are. Let us begin. And we'll begin with, oh look, we'll begin with Ramsundar Prabhu. Just see, Ramsundar just arrived in the picture. Okay, auspicious arrival, seeing the Vaishnavas and Bimal Krishna and family. Hare Krishna. Happy to see you all. Hare Krishna. All right, we're just beginning, so we'll begin with our mini Vandanam. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Uttapada Kamalam, Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam, Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvijay Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, dear devotees, we're coming to meet our family here together happily. And today, back to basics. It is Thursday here. It is Wednesday with you. And I should turn off my video, shouldn't I? Sorry about the redness. That happens when you've been in the sun. All right. So, we can ask, first of all, to Bimal Krishna Prabhu. You've just been in the Wednesday evening Bhagavad Gita class. What have you learned today? Aha.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat devotees. Put me on the spot here. No, they're in actually reading chapter 11 of the Gita, and they were talking about the universal form where Arjuna sees Krishna's the universal form. And I don't know if you've all read it, and then you all know how. I mean, it's trying to describe everything that he sees. I mean, you know, Paramananda Prabhu could give a better description of it all, but you know, obviously Arjuna is in distress, seeing everything, and Srilekha is just talking about how ultimately everything is coming to dissolution, and you know, because of material nature, and Arjuna is, you know, he's a little freaked out about it. So, yeah, that's basically what kind of stands out in my mind.
That sounds like Sudarshan Prabhu's words, that Arjuna was freaked out about the whole situation. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, my dandavats to you all.
Dandavats Bimal Krishna Prabhu. And so anyway, today we've got our Leela Moy Prabhu is back with his almost twin brother, Ram Sundar Prabhu. Don't they look alike? And back at Sri Govinda Farm, as the label says at their, on their picture. So I would like to hear from both Rama Sundar Prabhu and Leela Moy Prabhu, something from the farm. Means the Govinda Farm. And now it is 18th of September. So Sri Kartik month is coming up, and Srila Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja is coming up. And so can we just ask something as the preparations that are taking place there in Thailand at Govinda Farm?
Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats all the devotees. Well, yes, the festival is getting very, very close, and thankfully, Leela Moy arrived just a few days ago. So we are not slowly starting, but we're starting all the, you know, preparations, getting things done, getting things ready to go. And yeah, we have a long list of stuff to do. So hopefully a few other devotees will come a bit earlier too. I heard Aparajita is planning on to, and Mukinath, so and
So it's very nice to be back. It feels like home, and always with the devotees, it feels like home. It's very special to be here. And today we had a really good, amazing program, as always. We started our day in a very glorious way. We started to watching the inauguration of Chandrodaya Mandir. That the last video, I think, in the YouTube channel of Srila Guru Maharaj. It's very beautiful. Prabhupada telling about his relation with Srila Shida Maharaj and the stories. It's very beautiful to able to see this precious really juice that it's in the form of video, not video, but audio. It's very beautiful, and we didn't finish the video because we had to continue our program, but tomorrow is the last part of the video, and we keep going like this. Basically that, yeah, we keep continue always and always, and a lot of things to do, and very excited to be here. A lot of things to do, and all the time, seva, 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 seva. Bye.
Bye. Did you say bye?
Jai.
Oh, Jai. Okay. I said
Not
bye,
bye yet.
everything. Bye. Okay, and very happily hearing. And yesterday evening here, because yesterday was Wednesday evening, and then the Italian Zoom, then Chinmoy, he actually showed a video on the Italian Zoom by sharing the screen. He showed the video of Srila Sridhar, Srila Guru Maharaj also explaining about the sannyas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and separation, how separation is necessary for union, so many things like this. But it was interesting, we sort of dubbed it as a special edition of the Italian Zoom, because it was actually only basically showing the video. It was quite long, took up most of the time when we have a 1-hour session. And but the interesting thing was that Chinmoy Defu showed the devotees, the Italian devotees, how to see the captions in Italian. And the point is, when captions are already generated or already made, not auto-generated, but when they're in English as a transcription, basically, the captions are already there in English, then the translation does do a good job. So actually yesterday, we also watched a video on the Italian Zoom, and it worked well because those of us who don't know Italian, then we had the the audio. We could hear Guru Maharaj as clearly as possible because the recordings are not so clear. But we heard the recording, and so we sat with Srila Guru Maharaj for sort of 40 minutes yesterday, very happily, in the Italian Zoom, and the Italian speakers could follow. And Chinmoy Defu and the devotees, all the devotees were here. They said it does do a good job of translation. So that's very hopeful. I don't know how well it does translating to Thai, but Aparajita, she can maybe give it as an experiment. We'll soon all be there. The time nor tide waits for no man. Happily. And will we be meeting Dana this year in Thailand? Dana, we're asking you a question. If you're free to answer. I think it's late at night, perhaps I think it's very late at night in Florida, perhaps. Hare Krishna. All right, dear devotees. And from Paramananda Prabhu, who's in Japan, in the office in Japan. Last time we were with him, he was at the auction. And as I said, I feel very sad for you that you have to go to such things. But there we are. For service, many things are required. Paramanandu, a contribution?
Dandavats. Well, I just saw a couple of homeless Australians going somewhere looking for a shelter. So maybe before we lose them, they can say a few words. If it's possible at all, but I think it's possible.
That means you, Abhinavasundar. That means you, Kelly.
And Kelly, it's Abhinavasundar and Kelly.
There's a thumb. I see the thumb is going towards the.
Oh, there it is.
The opening the microphone.
Dandavat, Dandavat. So, Ben?
Well, we see you're driving in the direction of Govinda Farm.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, it's very astute of you.
And Kelly's not
Can
in
you
the
hear
car.
me? I don't know.
Yes, we can, but we're waiting for you to shower some nectar upon us all.
Well, I'm not very nectar full, Maharaj. Sorry, I'm in the searching for nectar departments rather than the full of nectar departments. But we are currently traveling, as Pramananda saw. Okay, Kelly Kadamba's trying to give me some inspiration. Anyway, I've been driving, so I wasn't really thinking about talking. But it's lovely to hear that things are going on nicely at Govinda Farm. And yes, we're going there in a roundabout sort of way. We've been with Sri Mum for a few days. She's turned 90. So she sends her affection to you, Maharaj, because she always thinks fondly of you. Remembering, in fact, she was just remembering the other day about when we invaded her house, 13 of us on that bus tour with the Lindberghs, Krishna Sundari, and other personalities. So she's always thinking very fondly of you all. And well, I mean, one thing we were thinking this morning about Mahaprabhu and how when he was distributing, he's traveling all over India and distributing the holy name to anyone and everyone, every time, place, circumstance, every town, every village. And it's just very, for me, I found that very inspiring because, you know, we kind of seem to, you know, we're establishing temples and then it takes so much energy to maintain the temples, but really the necessity to be moving around and trying to distribute the holy name is really such an important, for me, that's just what came to me this morning. I feel like that's an important thing that we need to be trying to do, is trying to distribute the holy name. And it's nice to have, of course, temples where we can gather together and be in good association and be practicing together. But that the whole purpose of Mahaprabhu coming and revealing everything that he revealed is for us to distribute that nectar that you're talking about, Maharaj, anyway, and to whatever degree. And I think even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, then is it? Anyway, someone will be able to correct me. That, in fact, I think it's Guru Maharaj, it says, you know, with whatever you have, whatever capital you have, you start there, you distribute that, and that's all we can do. We're not waiting until we're perfect before we start trying to distribute what we have, what our gurus have given us, and whatever we've got in our hearts. We need to try to distribute that now. It's kind of urgent when you see all the crazy things that are going on in the world. Then you realize it's actually quite an urgent campaign, because everyone is desperate. Everyone is searching for something. And in fact, Kelly Kadamba said she saw this thing. Some well-known author said, "I've got this God-shaped hole in my heart, and not sure if that is going to get resolved in her lifetime. You know, that if that hole is going to be filled somehow. People have got questions and they've got needs for this relationship with the Absolute, with Krishna, with God. And then how are they going to get a taste of that? How are they going to get their need fulfilled? It's vitally important to try and distribute something. Anyway, I'm just raving on, Maharaj. Don't know if anyone can hear me. Is anybody out there?
Everybody's out here listening, and you're also recorded, and we are on Facebook and Zoom. And yes, and you also just reminded that we did do that bus tour in Australia with our Salt Lake City Sudarshan Prabhu family and others. And we did do a bus tour there, and we were surprised that the whole of New South Wales didn't become devotees because we had our good musicians and good everybody, a good team.
I think I was just talking.
Yeah, I think you'll have to park somewhere if you have the time. Otherwise, Abhinav, I think you need to do Skype. Skype doesn't exist anymore. Do your Zoom while parked rather than driving, at least for your contribution section. Anyway, dear devotees, a few years ago, we did do a bus tour in Australia, and we went to pre-arranged places. We went to all kinds of different places, as well as doing Harinam Sankirtan, wherever we went, basically, small places and big places.
You're breaking up a lot, Maharaj. It's where
Yeah, you have to park somewhere. We're parked. I'm parked. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, we're back together. Anyway, we did do a tour in New South Wales, and including we did Harinam Sankirtan. When we got to Sydney, which was not our final destination, but we did outside the Opera Hall, the famous Sydney Opera Hall, but the security didn't allow us to continue, and they told us, no, you can't do this here. But they were kind, because when we stopped and we were polite with them and everything, but we're outside the opera hall, so we wanted to take our group photo. So the same security guard who had told us to stop, then he saw us having our photograph, and he offered to take the photo. So I mean, it was all done in good spirits. And so the security man actually took our photograph. But yes, we did visit places. But it is a fact, when we are in a suitable time in our lives where we can spare some time to go day by day, not only, I think that was maybe 21 days or something like that tour. I don't remember exactly how long. But what I do remember is that when we began the tour, I thought we were just going out for an evening and coming back to the Govinda farm that evening. And when we're on the bus, they said, oh, no, we're going. Now we've started the tour already. Because the first evening, the place was not so far away, maybe 80 kilometers or something. So I just naturally thought we're going to go to the evening program there, then come back to the ashram. So on the bus, instead of being an evening program, it was like a 3-week tour. So anyway, Krishna plays with us all, and it was happy. We were all very happy. But yes, and this is something that Srila Prabhupada, of course, very much stressed the preaching department and the preaching department of distributing the books. Okay, I see in the chat box we've got the link to the inauguration of the Mayapur Chandradoya Mandir, and it is in the Srila Sridhar Maharaj video series on YouTube with the captions which are put in here by Chinmoy Devaprabhu. Nadia Priya, welcome. Hare Krishna. And our Salt Lake team, Harini Devi Dasi, she is with us representing Salt Lake City. Yes, Paramananda Prabhu. So you drew some reflections from Abhinava Sundar, but not from Kelly. She's the co-pilot, it seems, looking for a place to park, perhaps. Paramananda Prabhu.
I have to admit that I'm quite empty-handed and empty-headed. But Abhinava Sundar, he put something into my head just now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there is a necessity, and this is the Mahaprabhu's Leela in Mahaprabhu's wish, in Mahaprabhu's style of wherever he would go, he would talk about Krishna and distribute the names of the Lord and his glories, his pastimes. What's that verse? Yarideki tarikaha Krishna upadesh. Amara Guru Anatara Eidesh. He's telling to Kurma Brahman. This is how, and he's actually adding one important thing, because the Brahmin didn't want it to leave Mahaprabhu's association. But he said, if you do that, then forever you will be in my company. In fact, I will never leave you. It will not be possible for me to leave your company. And that was Mahaprabhu's advice. Go everywhere, wherever you see, you tell about Krishna, say something, do something. And in a way, it's not always means that we have to leave everything behind and start walking around and asking people chant the Lord's names and kind of invade their private lives and do all sorts of things that devotees like doing or did in the past, including myself. It's actually much deeper and much wider. So Guru Maharaj, he quotes that verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, where he's saying the seven mukhe hijipada. To get that connection, to get into that current, you must be in a service mood. So the mood is very important. If you make yourself available to be used, because it is his chess play, it is his pastime, it's not ours. We're not the players, but we can make ourselves available to be played by him. And that's what we have to be focused about, but that's just my opinion. Make yourself available to be used, regardless. You may think I'm unqualified and this and that. Someone may think that I'm qualified. But Krishna can use absolutely anyone. And his most favorite agency, and there's so many, but his most favorite is his devotees. So through them, we can understand his will. And if devotees are expressing their desire, their vision, and expressing their necessity in some particular service assistance, then we have to be very careful and listen to that, and hopefully try to follow, try to fulfill their desire, given that those devotees are authentic. There's some little considerations we have to keep in mind. And then that will be the spreading of the holy name. And it can be anywhere. We can be on the road, we can be on the street, we can be in the kitchen, we can be in the warehouse, we can be cutting grass, collecting flowers, taking care of the garden. So many different things. Like someone asked Govinda Maharaj, what the kirtan means. What is that? And then Srila Govinda Maharaj elaborated and said, actually, it's much deeper and much wider than we think. We think, okay, just sitting and chanting the holy names. But it is not. Everything, not only that, I mean, but not only that. Everything that serves that purpose, maintains the purpose, supports that, is part of that kirtan, sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy name. And actually, not just chanting, but serving the holy name. That's another expression we get from Srila Guru Maharaj. And this morning, Srila Govinda Maharaj was in South Africa in 1998. And that brought memories to me, because we were there recently with Srila Madhusudan Maharaj, hearing about his pastimes there. And so he's in South Africa. And it's a program, and it seemed to be at least semi-public program. Maybe it was a full public program. And he started talking about Krishna and his world, and how wonderful his world is. Then he quoted that last verse of Brahma Samhita, Shriyakantak Paramapurusham Kalpatarava. And he started describing how everything is so beautifully described, how everything is, every word is the song, every movement is like a dance. And then he said that one time I was listening the description of the Leela, Vrindavan Leela of the Lord from Srila Guru Maharaj. And Srila Guru Maharaj described some pastimes of Srimati Radharani and her daily activities. It was during the Brajmandal Parikrama. Govinda Maharaj said, I was young at that time, and I asked Guru Maharaj immediately, how is that possible? You're saying she's here and then she's there, but the distances, we're walking this Parikrama, we're walking these distances, and it's so far away, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, 10 kilometers, but it seems that she's moving in a second, in a matter of seconds. And Guru Maharaj said, yes. And then he explained the expansion and contraction of the Dham, but he made a point that in that land, everyone and everything is service-minded. The environment is existing exclusively to serve the Lord. There is no other purpose. The trees to serve the Lord. The insects, the birds, the water, the air, the sun, the moon, even the time, he said. The time is not the time we know in this world. The time there exists only to serve Krishna, and it does so when he desires so. So everything is service-minded, including the environment. And this is when Srimati Radharani, and of course, there are all gradations of the servitors as well, which we have to approach very carefully. And when she expresses the desire to serve Krishna, immediately that is supplied. And that's what the contraction and expansion of the Dham means. It moves according to the will of the Lord's devotees and the Lord himself. In fact, we can say it follows the mood and the desire of his best servitor. And that's the world where Krishna lives. This is his world. And he is perpetually amazed by the mood of his friends and his devotees, and dear ones, like Munindra says. So that was Srila Gurudev's morning program. In short, it was quite an extensive program, about an hour maybe, in South Africa. Very beautiful, and very sweet, in a very great way he expressed that too.
So that was today?
Yes, it was today morning, at least in Japan.
Okay, well, very wonderful. You picked up exactly this day. Or if it were, or if you simply mean, okay, anyway, I won't ask too much of inner purport.
I mean what I simply mean, Maharaj. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, okay. And I understand. Very good. Hare Krishna. And Nadia, please, sending her dandavats to all the devotees, and Abhinav saying dandavats and all the glorious devotees. Our apologies. Internet is so bad and keeps freezing. Now that's because you're driving. You know that. Hare Krishna. All right. Any question for me from anybody? How was the people reaching in Bangkok this last Sunday? Did you do a program? Aparajita?
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat everyone. Actually, we have been taking some break from the program, but we also trying to arrange some public program during the festival, but we still contacting different places. And yeah, now Muktinath is in India actually, so we also take time to break and preparing for the festival to
All right. Mhm. And here is
yes.
Muktinath Prabhu. And now if we are able to spotlight him. Oh, you're in Rishikesh. And that's the
Right, Maharaj.
Ganges.
This is
Huh?
this is Ramjula Bridge, right? It's now 8 a.m. time after rain.
Full Ganges.
Full, yes.
Very green, and the Ganges is very full.
Yes, that's
And that
right.
round Julan, so everyone knows, that's a very famous bridge, as you can see, that crosses the Ganges. And the bridge, it's patrolled by monkeys. If you walk
Yeah.
eating something or something in your hand, the monkeys have the upper hand. They can swing on that bridge and snatch your food. Ah, yes. And is the Ganges, it's muddy, right? Or is it
Yeah,
clear?
muddy because very heavy rain every day. Maybe a couple of days was just little rain, but almost every evening and night heavy rain. Couple of days ago was really calamity.
All right. And we saw a sadhu behind you, but in Rishikesh, then there are sadhus around, no doubt.
Yes, surrounded by sadhu. So yes, I will stay here. Just it's little vacation, my little vacation in Rishikesh. Have a darshan of Gangama, and after we'll come back to Bangkok and go to Chiang Mai for the festival a little bit before.
And have you bathed in the Ganges yet?
This morning, just not fully, but every day, almost 3 times, 2 times, 3 times every day. Yes.
You found somewhere safe to bathe?
Sorry?
Have you found somewhere safe where you won't
Yes.
where you won't drown?
Sure. Yes. Safe place with a nice stone. Yes.
And just give a moment or two to reflect on returning to India after some time. It's a little while since you've been in India, and we try not to think really of India so much, but you're in a holy place, Rishikesh.
Yes.
You came through Haridwar, which is the door to Haridwar, the door to the Lord, and then up the river to Rishikesh. And from here, the river is in the Himalayas. This is where it's just first come down to the flatter level.
Yes.
So any reflection on arriving in Rishikesh?
Just happy to be here because here is mostly, yes, I'm mostly living now on the bank of the Ganga, just on the Ganga side in a simple ashram. They gave me some opportunity to stay there, and yes, and I'm very happy to be here. So after sometimes living in the city, big city, so now I feel close to the nature, close to the holy river, close to the fresh air, and like now this is my first impression from the last days. And of course it's around us a lot of temples, and all the time you can hear bells, you can smell incense, and aroma from mustard oil lamp and all that things, kind of things, and cows around. Yes, that's very auspicious, and yeah, I feel very good here. But yes, just maybe one more week. Yes.
All right. I did not know you were in India, so this is a surprise for me, and happy that we're able to share some of the flavor. We can also breathe in and take some of that fresh Himalayan air, the fresh Ganges air. And there is a quotation, I would have to look to find it, where the anyone who lives within a certain distance of the Ganges, which is certainly much further than the distance you are from the Ganges now, and then their birth and their living there is much more auspicious than that of a king with all richly opulences, who is not living within where the wind of the Ganges is flowing, and which shows the glories of the Ganges. The Ganges glories are being chanted throughout the scripture. And recently, it was Vamana Dev's appearance day, not long ago. And from Vamana's begging 3 steps of land from Vamana, then with the second step, he reached the edge of the universe, cracked it, and that is the origin of the Ganges water coming from the lotus foot, the water that's come from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And we see how many places that the Ganges delivers all the fallen souls. Hare Krishna. And Muktinath Prabhu,
Yes.
another word or two?
Looking forward to see you, to have your darshan and all devotees, and be together in a festival in Govinda farm. And yes, I have a good opportunity hear some lessons, do japa, and just a lot of also some things come to my mind about maybe about service, what to do better, how to do this, how to do that. I mean, practically, in a practical way. So I have very good time here now. But yes, I have more a lot of inspiration to go to the festival. So yes, hope to see you all soon.
Also, if you look and see the list of the devotees who are here online now, then when next time you take your bath in the Ganges, underwater, it's there somewhere I've read or heard, if you say the name of a person when you're underwater, with proper mood, of course, it's the same as that person taking a bath in the Ganges. So I hope you can remember each of our names who are here.
Sure.
I can send you a list later. Who is on Zoom? I can send you a list. And I can be also on Facebook, but I'm not at the moment.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, you don't have to try to say everybody's name in one breath, otherwise you might drown. Anyway, it's a very mundane kind of question, but we would feel touched by having our names chanted under the water. And I've done this several times before for other devotees and for people. I've done this while in India. And the bubbles all go up your nose while you're trying to speak somebody's name. And to Jaidev Prabhu, to Tunga, Rasa Devi Dasi, and to Madhava Prabhu, our regular reader. They're on Facebook today, along with others, but I only can see on Facebook those who are who send a little message. So they're each sending obeisances also, so they are with us. And really, we're happy to be with all of you directly by whatever medium, and in the recorded version, as we say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats.
Dandavat and Keshavanand Prabhu, he is also going to be passing through Rishikesh on his way, but he doesn't leave for a little while, so I don't think you'll meet up. But he'll be passing through Rishikesh also on his way to Thailand. Hare Krishna. Well, on this side of the world, I can say we've been thinking of the Himalayas, in fact, and which starts, in fact, from Haridwar and Rishikesh. We've been reflecting on Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj and his pilgrimages and his preaching pilgrimages. Because remember, Srila Gurudev is always preaching, and he began doing pilgrimages in India for the purpose of preaching, people reaching, and for the purpose of engaging people's energy for the seva of the deities in Navadip. And Srila Gurudev, in Golden Reflections, if I just quickly come to Golden Reflections, I can read you a little bit. So Srila Gurudev had been talking about Navadip Dham Parikrama. And then a devotee asked to Srila Gurudev, I heard that parikramas to other holy places were also arranged. And then Srila Guru Maharaj says, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev said, I took pilgrimage parties to other places in India, including Badrik Ashram, and so did Srila Guru Maharaj. At that time, I was not so expert at collecting funds, especially in Calcutta. But our expenses increased day by day. Furthermore, no temple building had yet been constructed. When we think of Chaitanya Saraswati Math, we automatically think of the buildings. But at that time, in the early days, there was no, of Srila Gurudev there was no temple building. So Gurudev is saying, I had noticed that Keshava Maharaj of Chaitanya Math and Goswami Maharaj were all running Indian tours. Now they are disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur from that generation. Therefore, I proposed to Srila Guru Maharaj that we could also organize Indian tours part by part, South India, North India, Western India, and so on. And Srila Guru Maharaj replied, if you can, that will be very good. The success of such a journey, then Gurudev in his own words saying, the success of such a journey would very much depend upon the cooperation of the railway company. Okay, because at that time, I'm not sure about now, they would have some tourist coaches for the railway carriage, that railway that they attach to an engine, a train that's going somewhere. They would attach a tourist coach, which was self-contained with kitchen and showers and everything. So that it would need the cooperation of the railway company. So then Gurudev said, so I suggested to Srila Guru Maharaj that if we go to Badrik Ashram in the Himalayas, then it would entail the least reliance upon the railways. Then there would be a greater success, a greater chance of success for the tour. And to do that would entail taking the Dune Express to Haridwar, it still runs, and then a bus to Rishikesh, from where the journey would continue by foot. And Srila Guru Maharaj commented about that. It would be an arduous journey. Can you organize and run it successfully? I said, yes, if you give your grace, I can. You see, Srila Gurudev, he was a doer. So Srila Guru Maharaj gave me enthusiasm and said, if you can, it will be very good. Then myself and other devotees, we went and gathered people for the tour. With the help of our patrons, we advertised by distributing handbills from door to door. In the first party were about 54 persons. Myself and Paramahamsa Maharaj, a disciple of Srila Guru Maharaj, who also, sorry, a sannyas disciple of Srila Guru Maharaj, who also helped him very much by collection and preaching. So myself and that Paramahamsa Maharaj, we took charge of the party. I was very young at that time, around 24 years old. For that first tour, Srila Guru Maharaj said it was necessary for an older devotee to also head the party. Therefore, we invited Paramahamsa Maharaj. Actually, I was in charge, but Paramahamsa Maharaj was very helpful. Each year we would go to, and then saying, each year we would go to Kedarnath, Badrik Ashram, and Tunganath. Hare Krishna. Then after that, we started various parikrama tours to the holy places of southern India, western India, Puri, Vrindavan, Dwaraka, and so on. These tours would all go to the holy places. We established good relations with many people, and many of them also took initiation from Srila Guru Maharaj. Many of those participants became devotees. In addition, by those tours, we were able to collect much money at that time. I can remember that each tour would make at least 5,000 rupees. And remember, that was a lot of money back in the 50s. With our nourishment, they were very happy. And just a little bit more. Srila Guru Maharaj also came with us on 3 or 4 occasions. He went on the train tours and also on the pilgrimage by foot to Badrik Ashram. By that time, the bus ran, so by that time, which was a little later, the bus ran into the Himalayas all the way up to Rudraprayag or maybe Chamoli. But when we first started, the whole journey by foot was about 286 kilometers, and it took 1 month to complete. Hare Krishna. So there's a little reflection on the preaching, so many preaching processes. And as Gurudev said, Calcutta, we also have experience. Calcutta can be a very difficult place to do collection. Maybe, well, I'm not going to speculate why maybe, but anyway, try and see, dear devotees, do collection in other places and then go to Calcutta and see, give it a rating. A difficult place. But then Gurudev very practical. Funds are necessary and the preaching is necessary. And so he took the example, seeing what others are doing, thought, yes, we can also do like that. So as a 24-year-old, he began those tours on 1 month walking in the Himalayas, not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Or 10 days. We did 10 days, I think, to Muktinath, something like that. Hare Krishna. But to reach the people somehow, and actually we were reflecting on, a devotee actually said to me, oh, I remember how, it's still in my mind how you said, when you were first reading the first book that I got, which is Science of Self-Realization, and how you said, how is it that nobody ever told us these things when we are younger? Why is it not taught in our schools? And still it is like that. For the general people, we meet people, they may have a little acquaintance with Bhagavad Gita in an odd way, in an interpreted way. But in the message of Bhagavad Gita, the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the beginning message of birth, death, old age, disease, we're all in the middle of this. It's not a world for enjoying, it's a world for learning how to give enjoyment to the Lord. I mean, just some of the basic things which we take for granted. So our first feelings and impressions are, why did nobody say this before? Now it's our duty to fill in the gap so that the next generations can't say, oh, but nobody told us about this, nobody gave us access to this. So we do need to be a little bit like the doorway to show, what's available, to say, oh, come to this doorway, learn what is life. Learn the facts of life, the facts of life. And the facts of life are amazing. Human life has got such potential. So yes, this theme of preaching, of people reaching, it is very important. And we mustn't just think, oh, we have it. We have it, we're okay. Not. We must give it to others because we know they will be okay. Hare Krishna. And how we do that, there must be many ways, but Harinam Sankirtan indeed was Mahaprabhu's method to chant with mridanga and kartals in public. And we have so many comments from people who have seen devotees in the street, and they probably remember that more than having met devotees and received a book from them or something like that. Some impression of seeing devotees congregationally, chanting, and some of them dancing in the street leaves another kind of impression with people. And with me too, to some extent. At least the chanting and dancing in the street definitely left me with a question mark. Like, what are these people doing? But those people who were dancing and chanting in the street, they didn't give me any flyer, but somebody from that group or from that temple must have been quite actively distributing books and magazines, because I did get a book. Krishna answered my question. Now I can think, oh, I was wondering, what are they doing? So Krishna sent the book so I could read about what they were doing. Hare Krishna. Well, so the question does come, now is the modern age. You are all modern people. This is the age of a terrible word that I hear, influencers. Sounds terrible. But anyway, it's the age where people are influenced by what they read, what they hear, what they see. So how to reach the population, young or old, and on whatever country, whatever planet, but how to reach the population today, that we're not seen as, oh, just another group of people trying to do some meditation, trying to do some yoga. Because it is not like that. And we know that. We know that from our masters, from the content, because we study it. And a little bit like one of those great persons, Einstein, I think it was, who in his very last time, who's very recognized as a genius in the mathematical world, in the invention world, this, that, and the other. And then in his later time, in his old age, he was studying astrology, not astronomy of the movement of the planets, but the effect of the planets on people. And then the scientific world, the scientists, they're making some complaint to him and saying, you are such a great scientist. Why are you now studying something so ethereal, has no basis, just like whimsical? And his reply to them was that I have studied it, you have not. So in a similar way, we have come to this Krishna consciousness. We have studied it. We know it's real. We may not know its whole science and everything else, all the details that those who are the expert scientists of the field know, but we know it's real. And so we can also say, yes, we have studied it, you have not. And it is amazing that in creation, we generally think, oh, what went bang to make the planets? and all the different things. But look at how those who do study the finer aspect of the planets, the constellations, the stars and everything, it's not just that something went bang, but everywhere there's this background influence of consciousness. And how is it that there's such a science of the very first breath that a baby takes when they're born, then that moment's breath, what is, how that can show the rest of their life? Those who study it, they show there's an amazing science. So there's a lot more behind the scenes than just, oh, beautiful stars in the sky. Oh, and there's a red planet, there's another planet. Oh, the moon, the sun. And it all happened by accident, just so we could live now. Yes, Bhima Krishna Prabhu, what have you studied? Krishna consciousness, I know.
No, Maharaj, I'm always at the end. I just have these thoughts that come to me, you know, whenever they do, and this might sound a little jumbled, but just thinking about what you're saying. But I think as far as reaching people right now, I think just the word that comes to my mind is just authenticity. Like for myself, you know, that means like trying to actually like internally harmonize with like these teachings and actually like make them part of my life. And I think right now everything is so fake. And like when you bring up influencers and, you know, social media, like there's so many things that everything is so fake. Like everything is staged, and, you know, like people try to make funny videos, but it's clear that it's all staged, and, you know, but nothing's authentic anymore. Nothing's real. And I think just giving people something that is substantial, you know, which Krishna consciousness is, you know, our teachings that have come from Srila Gurudev, like these things are all fulfilling. And I know there's a million ways to reach people, but I think, you know, just personal connection and just the way that we treat people in everyday lives, like I think that's going to make a huge impact, because that's something that's almost foreign these days. You know, everything is through a camera, or, you know, watching on a phone or a computer or whatever. But I mean, getting out and interacting with people, I think is, you know, definitely a way. That's one thought I had. But I've been thinking about this for a few weeks, because, and Paramananda Prabhu can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was mentioning, I think it was around Radhastami, Sri Radhastami, and he was mentioning how in Srimad Bhagavatam, like Srimati Radharani, her name isn't mentioned anywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam. And he said because when Sukadev Goswami was speaking to all the people, he mentioned that he didn't say any of this because they weren't qualified. And it just made me think back then, and hearing today Abhinava Sundar Prabhu talking about Mahaprabhu, and, you know, the Maha Mantra and how merciful he is. Like the fact that we've been given these teachings, you know, they weren't qualified then, but these are these great sages and rishis, and, you know, but here we are, we're hearing these things, and it just goes to show how merciful Mahaprabhu is. And I just had that thought from a few weeks ago, and tonight just hearing about Mahaprabhu and thinking about, you know, how merciful he is, and the fact that we have somehow, or I'm speaking for myself, I'm far from deserving, or even, you know, I'm at the lowest. But anyway, they've come to us for some reason, and you know, it's all mercy for whatever reason. But those are just some thoughts that I had, and had to make up for my horrible Bhagavad Gita first thing during the class here. So, I don't know.
Not horrible, Prabhu. If we were to get a glimpse of the universal form of the Lord, we would be, and we would want to see Krishna again. We'll be calling out Krishna's name to, oh, Krishna, please show your beautiful two-handed form holding a flute. Hare Krishna. All right, so dear devotees, I do need to keep on moving, because right now we've got a movement of devotees here, and so I need to just do our, not goodbyes, but see you soon with devotees. And we've got, oh yes, anyway, we've got devotees here from Salt Lake City also, for our Salt Lake City team. Means Glenn and Jamuna, they are here also, but they're leaving in a short while. So the ashram here always devotees coming and going, and good to have you all in the ashram today, and also good for me to be with you all in your places today. And this week we're going to get a bath. Each of us, I believe, are going to have a bath by the grace of Muktinath in the holy river Ganges. I'll send you a list of the devotees who are here, Prabhu, and who are online. And Jayadev Prabhu also sending. Oh, Jayadev was saying on Facebook, I am taking a bath in the association of the wonderful devotees. Yes, exactly. The Hari Kirtan, Hari Katha, the devotees association bath. Beautiful. All right, appreciate the presence, the association of each of you, and with all good wishes, let us say our ashchis, not bye-bye, not saying something, saying bye, but saying something and saying we will see you soon. But first of all, Jai, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Prida Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, all the unlimited devotees, unlimited number of devotees, and unlimited devotees ki Jai, and Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Dandavats to each of you.
Jai Srila BR Madhusudan Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Necessary to speak softly, Leelamoy. You damage the speakers on my computer. Dandavat, Dandavat, Govinda, Govinda, all devotees.